On behalf of the faculty of the Division of the Humanities, I am honored to welcome the family and friends of our graduates to the University of Chicago and to extend warm congratulations and commendations to you, the exceptional women and men who will now receive your diplomas. Your professors, your families, your friends, those who have supported you through your studies are all proud of your achievements and of the distinction you have now attained. We know that you will venture forth from Chicago to become leaders, innovators, and persons of merit and accomplishment throughout the world, and that you will bring to your communities the benefits of an enriched and critical mind. The value of the enriched and critical mind is the subject of much debate in and beyond the humanities. Especially at this time in our complex world, many question the practical utility of the humanistic enterprise, the study of human culture through history, literature, ancient and modern languages, philosophy, art, and music, and are skeptical of the investment such an education requires. But the cost to society of not engaging in the renewal of human knowledge is too great to contemplate. Those who engage in research, teaching, and the renewal of knowledge, those who cultivate a deep level of self-examination and constancy of purpose will contribute to and help ensure a strong, self-governing nation. Robert Maynard Hutchins, the 5th president of the University of Chicago, wrote in the International Journal of Ethics in 1934, and I quote, "A university should be a center of rational thought. Certainly, it is more than a storehouse of rapidly aging facts. It should be the stronghold of those who insist on the exercise of reason. Its object is always understanding. Rational thought is the only basis of education and research. It has been responsible for our scientific successes. Its absence has been responsible for our bewilderment. A university is the place of all places to grapple with those fundamental principles which rational thought seeks to establish," end quote. So too, Winston Churchill, at a convocation address in 1943, said, quote, "The empires of the future are the empires of the mind," end quote. We of the university community must not allow that future empire to be an impoverished one. The story behind the University of Chicago's motto is not one that many of us think about, and I'd like to take a minute to impart one more lesson to you. The motto, Crescat Scientia, Vita Excolatur, is translated with a bit of grammatical license as "let knowledge grow from more to more, and so be human life enriched." This motto is not a direct quote from a venerable Latin source, but was constructed, fabricated, if you will, by Professor Paul Scherer, a classics professor here at the University of Chicago, who was born in 1857 and died in 1934. For the first part of the motto, Scherer liked, for some reason, the resonance of a phrase in the meditation composed by Alfred Lord Tennyson as a requiem for his friend Arthur Henry Hallam, published in 1849, and a meditation on the search for hope after great loss. The poem includes some of the most often quoted lines in literature, such as "'Tis better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all," or "Nature red in tooth and claw," and the following in the prologue. "We have but faith, we cannot know, for knowledge is of things we see, and yet we trust it comes from thee, a beam in darkness, let it grow. Let knowledge grow from more to more, but more of reverence in us dwell than mind and soul, according well, may make one music as before." Scherer translated Tennyson's "Let knowledge grow from more to more" into Latin as Crescat Scientia. He then took a passage from the 6th book of Virgil's Aeneid, in which Aeneas is watching those souls happy in the sweet fields of Elysium, among whom are, quote, "those who were faithful poets, singers worthy of Apollo, and those who improved life with discoveries in art or science, and those who by merit caused others to remember them." For the second half of the motto, then, Scherer used the phrase, "those who improved life," with appropriate grammatical adjustments. And he then added the connector "and so" to link the two phrases, yielding, let knowledge grow from more to more, and so be human life enriched. There are several lessons you could take from this story of the university's motto. Among them is one that I want to stress today. As you depart these halls to assume the reins of leadership in the academy, in business, in government, and in society, you will be called upon to propose solutions for global problems. You will be asked to respond swiftly and decisively in an ever-expanding, complex world. You will be challenged to innovate and to evaluate. As you do so, your actions, your deeds, and your ethical positions will be informed by the values and lessons imparted by your communities and by your university. Like Paul Scherer, use what you have learned here at the University of Chicago. Change it, adapt it, translate it, connect it to various insights, and make it all something new, something your own, and something worthy. May every one of you use to best advantage what you have learned. May you make a difference in the challenging world you inherit, and may your lives reflect honor back to your families, your communities, and to the University of Chicago. Congratulations. Each year, we honor members of the faculty who demonstrate exemplary teaching and mentoring throughout their careers. Nominations are made by students, and the winners are selected by a committee of previous award recipients and other distinguished faculty members. Earlier today, President Zimmer announced the names of all of this year's recipients, 3 of whom are members of the Humanities Division. Jason Merchant, professor in the Department of Linguistics, will receive the Llewellyn John and Harriet Manchester Quantrell Award for Excellence in Undergraduate Teaching at the college diploma ceremony this afternoon. Wendy Doniger, the Marseille Eliade Distinguished Service Professor in the Divinity School in the Department of South Asian Languages and Literatures, will receive the Faculty Award for Excellence in Graduate Teaching and Mentoring at the Divinity School's Diploma and Hooding ceremony. I now have the honor to bestow the 3rd of these faculty awards, also for excellence in graduate teaching and mentoring. Presenting this year's recipient is Bill Brown, the Karla Scherer Distinguished Service Professor in American Culture in the Departments of English Language and Literature and Visual Arts.
Vitalizing her field and her classroom by concentrating on embodied practice, Elaine Hadley has fulfilled the idea of intellectual and personal integrity. She has shown her students and colleagues how to thrive as both scholar and devoted mentor and how to inhabit the craft of teaching. Sorry, that's what you were supposed to read. Elaine Hadley's award-winning books, focused on the intersection of literary, social, intellectual, and political histories, have changed the questions being asked within Victorian studies and illuminated how politics are practiced. Her commitment to understanding lived life, the lives of children, of mothers, of soldiers, of the poor, has challenged and inspired her students who laud the ambition and remarkable precision of her teaching. They relish her mentoring not just for its patience and intensity, but also for its longevity, as she continues to support her former students' professional lives. Moreover, having committed herself to teaching pedagogy, she has empowered future teachers far beyond her field. In every sphere of academic life, from the archive to the administrative office, she has modeled what one student described as a kind of fearlessness about being human in an environment that often elevates abstract ideals over concrete realities. Dean Roth, I have the honor to present Elaine Hadley for the Faculty Award for Excellence in Graduate Teaching and Mentoring.
It's worth repeating. Vitalizing her field and her classroom by concentrating on embodied practice, Elaine Hadley has fulfilled the ideal of intellectual and personal integrity. She has shown her students and colleagues how to thrive as both scholar and devoted mentor and how to inhabit the craft of teaching. Congratulations. At the university-wide ceremony this morning, I asked our candidates for the degrees of Master of Arts, Master of Fine Arts, and Doctor of Philosophy to stand, and in the presence of the faculty of the university and the members of the Board of Trustees, President Zimmer formally conferred those degrees in recognition of the academic achievements of our students. At this time, it is my honor to award individual diplomas to each of our graduates.
As Dean of Students for the Division of the Humanities, I now have the honor to present for their diploma these students who have successfully completed a program of advanced study in the humanities, culminating in the degree of Master of Arts. Aubrey Allen. Jonathan Aaron Baker. Julia C. Balaco. Marie Elizabeth Becker. Emily Marie Geraldine Bassage. Charles Allen Blackburn. Logan Andrew Bollinger. Lauren Ann Bowles. Jordan Alexander Boyd. Andreas James Britz. Elizabeth Lee Bullock. Anna Katharina Birch. Anne Carlton Buxton. Danielle Michelle Candelora. Allison Carlisle. Matthew Isaac Clark. Sarah Melissa Cole. Erin Elizabeth Dahlgren. Donald Gary Dufresne. Nathaniel Adam Dell. Farhad Dokhani. Stephanie Midori Eto. Rosemary Fernandez. Clark Thomas Fouché. Adam John Feinrock. Lindsay Michelle Fleischer. Timothy Lawrence Fosbury. Nicole Foti. Sophie Michelle Louise Freestone. Jessica Friedman. Dana Christine Fritz. Gabriel Edward Gaschke. Anne Lisbeth Getz. Sarah Corona Goldstein. Maura Claire Gooden. Sarah Grant. Tozer Hammond. Emma Nell Harper. Matthew Hartman. Ian Thomas Hickox. Andrew James John Hill. Ania Rumi Hussein. Michael John Huguenot. William Hutchinson. Alexandra Tafaya Israel. Sarah Boots Jacobs. Lydia Catherine Kiesling. Young Book Kim. Clinton Douglas Kincaid. Tristan Henry Krautkramer. Christopher Mangel Kruger. Stephanie Lynn Kusera. Hoi Na Kung. Anna Renee Langer. Elliot Leda. Crystal Lynn Lee. Zen Lu. David Lurie. Jonathan Wallace Macy. Gabriel Malen. Michael Charles Martel. Austin Mayfield. Brianna Christine McDonald. Christine McKeon. Ryan Christopher McLaughlin. Vincent Pius Manella. Joy Miller. Nathaniel Ashton Miller. Pete Muglia. Jordan Musser. Rashda Mustafa. Juliet Elise Nellis. Nathaniela Ruth Orbach. Lachazar Orashkov. Ashley Brigitte Trudy Patterson. Anna Louise Postenbach. Kimberly Peitzo. Matthew Benjamin Punkus. Marley Rose Prutten. Stephanie Joshua Bulverant. Amy Koo. Virginia Lee Robbins. Jennifer Ray Robers. Joseph Romito. Eric Rosenbaum. Adam Daniel Rosenthal. Jennifer Ann Roddick Cordileone. Stephanie Rugels. Sean Philip Carl Schoenherr. A.J. Schultz. Yunfei Shao. Hannah Catherine Sigmund. Alisa Smith. Mary Beth Southard. Anastasia Standa. Louis J. Starrett. Sabah Suleiman. Charles Joseph Swanson. Naomi Sarah Taub. Nahuel Telleria. Catherine Francois Thibodeau. Victoria Ann Trudeau. Kristen A. Tyndall. Matthew Ramon van Vogt. Danielle Shoshana Weinberg. Yating Yang. As Dean of Students for the Division of the Humanities, I now have the honor to present for their diploma these students who have successfully completed a program of advanced study in the visual arts, culminating in the degree of Master of Fine Arts. Lauren Robertson Beck. Rachel Elizabeth Allison. David William Giordano. Anna Elise Johnson. Stacy Kalmanowski. Nabiha Khan. Claire Elizabeth Rosien. Travis Lee Saul. Cassandra Lee Troyan. Shane Robertson Ward. Eric David Watts.
The components of academic regalia derived from medieval clerical dress are the gown, the cap, and for those attaining the highest competencies, the hood. Today, those scholars who are being admitted to the community of doctors of philosophy will receive both a hood and their diploma from their disciplinary achievement. The velvet edge of the hood is dark blue, representing the broad fields of philosophy and humanistic studies. The lining is maroon, the color of the University of Chicago. In our ceremony, the hood will be placed over the head of each candidate by his or her dissertation advisor or department chair, assisted by David Ray, Professor of Classics and Director of the Master of Arts program in the Humanities.
As Dean of Students for the Division of the Humanities, I now have the honor to present for their diploma and hood these students who have attained scholarly distinction and have prepared a dissertation that contributes to knowledge in a particular field of research in the humanities, culminating in the degree of Doctoral of Philosophy. David John Alworth. Department of English, Language and Literature. Dissertation, Side Reading, Post-War Fiction, Visual Art and Social Form. Committee members, Bill Brown, Deborah Nelson, Kenneth Warren, hooded by Deborah Nelson. Rosalie Banks. Department of English, Language and Literature. Dissertation, Adjusting Mental Hygiene, Mental Health, Social Policy, and the Problem of Difference in Mental Hygiene, 1917 to 1950. Committee members, Lauren Berlant, Kenneth Warren, Janice Knight. Hooded by Lauren Berlant. Catherine Bronson, Department of Near Eastern Languages and Civilizations. Dissertation, Imagining the Primal Woman, Islamic Selves of Eve. Committee members, Wadat Kadi, Tehera Kudbutten, Michael Sells, Orit Bashkin. Hooded by Fred Donner. Mary Morley Cohen, Department of English, Language and Literature. Dissertation, Transporting Experiences, A History of Mobile Media. Committee members, James Lastra, Bill Brown, Patrick Jagoda. Hooded by Bill Brown. Rachel Eisendrath, Department of English, Language and Literature. Dissertation, Renaissance, Ekphasis, and the Objects of History. Committee members, Braden Cormack, Michael Murin, Joshua Skodell. Hooded by Michael Murin. Hannah van de Grift Eldridge, Department of Germanic Studies. Dissertation, Anxiety and Acknowledgement, Lyric Poetry and the Truth of Skepticism. Committee members, David Welbury, Eric Sandner, Christopher Wilde. Hooded by Deborah Nelson. Nancy Gardner Feldman, Department of Art History. Dissertation, Towards a New Reading of Aumoniers. Committee members, Aidan Kumler, Rebecca Zorak, Persis Berlekamp. Hooded by Deborah Nelson. Anna Felicity Friedman-Herlihy, Department of History of Culture. Dissertation, Tattooed Transculturites, Western Expatriates Among Amerindian and Pacific Islander Societies, 1500s to 1900s. Committee members, Leora Auslander, W.J.T. Mitchell, Neil Harris. Hooded by Leora Auslander. Catherine A. Hansen, Department of Near Eastern Languages and Civilizations. Dissertation, Considerations of Cultural Heritage, Threats to Mesopotamian Archaeological Sites. Committee members, McGuire Gibson, Patty Gerstenblith, Gil Stein. Hooded by McGuire Gibson. Xi Ha, Department of South Asian Languages and Civilizations. Dissertation, Experiencing the Graceful and the Joyful, a study of the literary aesthetics and religious emotions of the Lala Vistera. Committee members, Sheldon Pollock, Stephen Collins, Yigal Bronner, Charles Hallisey. Hooded by Deborah Nelson. Thomas Erwan Kim, Department of English, Language and Literature. Dissertation, The Coeval Asian in Late 19th Century America. Committee members, Bill Brown, W.J.T. Mitchell, Kenneth Warren. Hooded by Bill Brown. Joseph Ching Po Lam, Department of Near Eastern Languages and Civilizations. Dissertation, The Metaphorical Patterning of the Sin Concept in Biblical Hebrew. Committee members, Dennis Pardee, Walter Faber, Joseph Stern, Jaira Amit. Hooded by Dennis Pardee. Rana Saadi Liebert, Department of Classical Languages and Literatures. Dissertation, Hunger for Tears, Archaic Poetics and Plato's Critique of Poetic Pleasure. Committee members, Mark Payne, Elizabeth Asmus, Gabriel Lear. Hooded by Mark Payne. Ryan Douglas Long, Department of Philosophy. Dissertation, Responsibility, Luck, and Equality. Committee members, Martha Nussbaum, Dan Brotney, John Day. Hooded by Candace Vogler. Yaron Yaakov McNabb, Department of Linguistics. Dissertation, The Syntax and Semantics of Degree Modification. Committee members, Chris Kennedy, Jason Merchant, Ming Xiang. Hooded by Ming Xiang. Catherine Elizabeth Milko, Department of Classical Languages and Literatures. Dissertation, Perpetuas to Audiences, the Passio as a Sacred Performance. Committee members, Clifford Ando, Peter White, Stephen Beale. Hooded by Clifford Ando. Michelle Adriana Pitts, Department of Cinema and Media Studies. Dissertation, Variable Area, Hearing and Seeing Sound in Structural Cinema, 1966 to 1978. Committee members, Thomas Gunning, James Lastra, John Corbett. Hooded by Thomas Gunning. Eduardo Rivail Rivero, Department of Linguistics. Dissertation, A Grammar of Karagia. Committee members, Amy Dahlstrom, Michael Silverstein, Jerry Sadek. Hooded by Amy Dahlstrom. Shayna Mai Silverstein, Department of Music. Dissertation, Mobilizing Bodies in Syria. DAPKE, Popular Culture and the Politics of Belonging. Committee members, Philip Bowman, Martin Stokes, Lisa Wedeen, Travis Jackson, Kaylee Mason, Orid Bashkin. Hooded by Kaylee Mason. Lee Ann Smith Gary, Department of Germanic Studies. Dissertation, Extreme Measures, Domesticating the Sublime in German Realist Literature. Committee members, Susanna Ludeman, Eric Sandner, David Welbury. Hooded by Deborah Nelson. Volkan Yildiran Stodolsky, Department of Near Eastern Languages and Civilizations. Dissertation, A New Historical Model and Periodization for the Perception of the Sunnah of the Prophet and His Companions. Committee members, Fred Donner, Ahmed Al-Shamsi, Michael Sells. Hooded by Michael Sells. Elizabeth Diane Urban, Department of Near Eastern Languages and Civilizations. Dissertation, The Early Islamic Mawali, A Window into Processes of Identity Construction and Social Change. Committee members, Fred Donner, Tahira Kudbuddin, Ahmed Al-Shamsi, Richard Bullitt. Hooded by Fred Donner. Rachel Kathleen Watson, Department of English Language and Literature. Dissertation, Capturing the Individual, Race and Forensics in American Literature, 1894 to 1959. Committee members, Kenneth Warren, Deborah Nelson, Sean McCann. Hooded by Kenneth Warren. Chen Yao, Department of Music. Dissertation of Paramita. Committee members, Marta Tazinska, Shulamit Ran, Kotoka Suzuki. Hooded by Shulamit Ran. Dean Roth, I now have the honor to present for their hood these students who have attained scholarly distinction and have prepared a dissertation that contributes to knowledge in a particular field of research in the humanities, and were awarded the degree of Doctor of Philosophy at a convocation ceremony earlier this year. Heather Jane Allen, Department of Romance, Languages and Literatures. Degree conferred summer 2011. Dissertation, Literacy, Text, and Performance in Histories of the Conquest of Mexico. Committee members, Lisa Voigt, Frederick de Armas, Christian Rao de la Carrera. Hooded by Lisa Voigt. Jacob Daniel Banks, Department of Music. Degree conferred winter 2012. Dissertation, Litany of the Sacred Heart. Committee members, Shulamit Ran, Marta Tazinska, Stephen Rings. Hooded by Shulamit Ran. Deborah Cromley, Department of Classical Languages and Literatures. Degree conferred winter 2012. Dissertation, Voce Privatus, Speech, Silence, and Human Entanglement in Language in Apoleosis Metamorphosis. Committee members, Shadi Barch, Elizabeth Asmus, David Ray. Hooded by Alain Bresson. Shukri Hadushi, Department of Near Eastern Languages and Civilizations. Degree conferred winter 2012. Dissertation, Further Islamic Archaeology. Egypt and West Africa and the Limits of Islamic Archaeology. Committee members, Fred Donner, Donald Whitcomb, Francois Richard. Hooded by Fred Donner. Burke Patrick Hilsebeck, Department of English, Languages and Literature. Degree conferred winter 2012. Dissertation, Accidental Specificity. Slapstick Comedy and its Medium. Committee members, James Lastra, James Chandler. Hooded by Elaine Hadley. Michael Mewis, Department of English, Language and Literature. Dissertation, Everyone's Theater. Committee members, Elaine Hadley, Lauren Kruger. Hooded by Elaine Hadley. Hannah Ruth Minkus. Hannah Ruth Minkus, Department of Classical Languages and Literatures. Degree conferred autumn 2011. Dissertation, Encountering Mortality, Life, Death, and Divine Identity in the Major Homeric Hymns. Committee members, David Ray, Chris Ferroni, Mark Payne. Hooded by David Ray. Leanne Catherine Bass, Department of Near Eastern Languages and Civilizations. Degree conferred summer 2011. Dissertation, Consuming Transitions, a study of ceramic vessels associated with cooking and serving practices in the Levant during the early Bronze to Middle Bronze Age transition. Committee members, David Sloan, Gil Stein, Michael Dietler. Hooded by David Sloan. Cecilia Alexandre Watson, Department of Conceptual and Historical Studies of Science. Degree conferred autumn 2011. Dissertation, William James and John Lafarge, The Search for Truth in Art, Science, and Philosophy. Committee members, Robert Richards, Lorraine Daston, David Leary. Hooded by Robert Richards. Nathan T. Wolfe, Department of English Language and Literature. Degree conferred winter 2012. Dissertation, Fits of Reason. The U.S. Political Romance, 1865 to 1900. Committee members, Lauren Berland, Bill Brown, Kenneth Warren. Hooded by Lauren Berland.
We have spent today celebrating you, the graduates of the Division of the Humanities. But we all recognize that our achievements are dependent upon the prior contributions of others. Scholarship, enduring scholarship, progresses by the gradual accrual of knowledge over generations. This point has been made repeatedly, but is always worth reiterating. John Donne wrote the oft-quoted, "No man is an island entirely unto itself. Every man is a piece of the continent." His contemporary, Bernard Le Bovier de Fontenelle, wrote, "If we surpass the achievements of our predecessors, it is because he himself has helped us to surpass him. He will thus always have his share in the glory of our achievement." Thus you, who owe who you are and what you have accomplished, both to your own constancy of purpose and also to the firm continent upon which you stand, those who have supported you through the years. And so I invite now all graduates to rise. Turn around and acknowledge and thank your partners, parents, children, family, and friends. And now, stay standing and turn back around, please. And I ask you to thank the faculty and staff of this great university for all that they have done to make you the accomplished person you are today. And there's a third group I ask you not to forget, the community of your fellow graduates of the university. As Edward Levy, later our 8th president, said at the university's 310th convocation in 1965, quote, "Through this institution, you are not only joined to each other and to us, but to graduates of long ago and hopefully of many years to come. No one owns this institution. It belongs and it possesses all of us. It calls upon us to enter into its fellowship of the intellect. In this fellowship, no place is more honored than that of the graduate who carries this university in his mind and heart. I welcome you to that place." Now, as you leave this, our 511th convocation, some of you will continue your formal education here at the University of Chicago or elsewhere. Others will start new careers inside or outside of the academy. We, your teachers and mentors, trust that you will pursue your goals and your aspirations with ambition tempered by wisdom, discernment sharpened by critical reasoning, and with dedication fortified by ideals. Good luck and thank you.
This now concludes the Division of the Humanities Diploma and Hooding ceremony at the 511th Convocation of the University of Chicago. We thank you for bearing witness to today's ceremony, And we welcome you to continue the celebration across the street in Bartlett Quadrangles, where many of you enjoyed lunch earlier, with a toast to our graduates offered by Deputy Provost for Graduate Education, Deborah Nelson. Congratulations.